My battery's got 1%. My battery's got 1%. I thought I put a brand new battery in there. I was wrong. Well, since we're broke down today, we are moving. So there's maybe a chance we can have a combine this afternoon. But I don't give it much of a chance. So Colt and I are gonna move what we, I guess, have now determined to nickname the worn out auger, because it's worn out, but it's gonna go up where we've got a lot of like small grain bins that we can fill up, like, you know, 4,000 to 6,000 bushel bins. We're after the 3020 diesel. It's a diesel Colt.
You know what the story of my life is?
What?
I'm always this much too short.
No way, you didn't make it.
No, I didn't.
Did you jiggle the steering wheel? If you didn't jiggle the steering wheel, the YouTube's going to be pissed at you.
I did what?
If you didn't jiggle the steering wheel, YouTube will be mad at you. That's what makes it start easier. She needs some like time.
That's the most YouTube thing I've ever heard.
Well, you know, we get to call this the worn out auger. Here's my dad. Bought a new one from that guy in Lineville that we can't talk about because we don't get the friend discount.
All I'm trying to say is, let's use an abbreviation so he doesn't get the recognition. BSF. If you want to deal with a guy that's not easy to deal with.
So look at that.
I ain't got no backup camera because tailgate's gone. So this morning, Ben had the privilege of taking care of some horses that we had, that I have. He had to do this, and when I say he had to participate, I mean literally he rode in the truck while I had to take a mare to the vet clinic. Basically he sat in the truck and drank his Mocha Loca Foo white girl coffee. And now, this is what we're dealing with. Like, straight farming. I just don't know about it. You know, like Ben, I think he kind of sometimes he just wakes up and licks a window and gets excited about his day. But I don't feel like everybody has that same technique. But I do know that that bolt is too big to go through that hole and hook onto this. So, what an elegant creature. Sorry ladies, this one's taken. Molly's the lucky winner. We got another problem.
What's that?
I can't figure out where we hook this up to. I don't know what there is about this, but I was told to do it or the YouTube fans get mad. You don't try to give her the onion while you're giving her the onion.
That'll work. Leave her run. Watch the tail swing on that auger. So where we're going is 10, 12 miles from here, 10 miles from here. But that 3020 has absolutely no road speed. And we had 2 pickup trucks and a trailer hooked up. So we're just gonna load the 2 things that we gotta take up there and haul them up there, because it's going to be significantly quicker to do that down the road. So before we get too far into the video here today, we want to talk with you guys about some Syngenta products that we were using this year. There's basically 3 Syngenta products that we tested out on the farm this year. 2 of them were a seed treatment product. So we treated some soybeans with Saltro. Saltro helps with SDS protection against some of the competitors on the market. It does not give it the early plant stress, which you guys have seen if you're following me on Instagram, that the plants look healthy all year long. Obviously, if you look at these soybeans, you're gonna go, yeah, those are some soybeans. These will be really fun to harvest. We did not see any SDS or sudden death syndrome this year in our fields. Luckily, we haven't seen sudden death heavily in the last 5 to 6 years that we've been planting and protecting our soybeans against SDS. What we have seen and continue to see is that Saltro against the competition does do a good job of not bringing on that early stress to the plant around the cotyledons and emergence time. Makes the plant look really healthy and has really robust root system. I personally believe that actually treating your seeds is one of the best things you can do to increase your yields when it comes to soybeans. So the other thing that we tested out this year was CruiserMax Apex. Last year, I had issues in my fields with Phytophthora and Pythium. Basically, we're killing off bean plants ahead of time. You can go out there, the beans will still be green, and then you'd have soybeans that would look like they're ready to harvest. We did not have that this year. So either we did really good with the CruiserMax Apex, it was just not an issue. So I like the CruiserMax Apex because it was in one jug. Mix it up, treat your soybeans. You're done. You don't have to mix a bunch of stuff together. Simple recipe. Mix some Saltro, mix some CruiserMax Apex together, treat your seed. Even has the coloring in there. Makes them a really nice bright red. But we're happy to report that what we were seeing for this year is that our Saltro treated soybeans to protect against SDS and soybean cyst nematodes was having somewhere in between a half a bushel to a bushel response over the competition. That's pretty darn nice. The other thing that we tested this year is, and I didn't get it on any soybeans, this is the drought. I actually didn't get fungicide on any of my soybeans. My dad got fungicide on his soybeans. I didn't get any fungicide on my soybeans, but I did get fungicide on my corn, and he didn't put fungicide on a lot of his corn. So we were flip-flop this year. But anyways, for our fungicide, I tested out Marvis Neo this year. Now, this corn right here is later planted, and I will jump in with you guys actually in a field that we harvested, and the plant health was fantastic. I was unbelievably healthy. These plants here, they're even healthier too, but let's jump into that footage. I'm standing in corn right now that we did put the Marvis Neo fungicide onto, harvesting a little couple days later than the video that you guys are watching right now. But I'm really happy with this plant health. I mean, this is October, late October here. Plants are still standing fantastic. Lots of pliability left in them. I mean, look at that, just springing right back. Not snapping off at all. Just beautiful harvesting corn. This is one thing that people don't talk about enough, I guess, when it comes to harvesting corn, is that fungicide application. Just the standability of being able to actually get through the corn with reasonable speed, get the bushels out, increase productivity there. I don't think necessarily that we had a tremendous amount of disease pressure this year in this field, but I think spraying this gave it the stress relief that it really did need to get through pollination. This was some later planted corn. The yield's not quite there for what this could be, but for the drought year and being later planted, I'm happy with it. The grain fill is actually really darn nice. Just didn't quite get the girth put onto the ears, and I'm going to attribute that to being later planted. But like I said, just like healthy plants. Just an absolute joy to be harvesting. Nothing lodged, nothing you gotta fight through, nothing you gotta run your snout super low through. Just a really nice harvesting corn. So that's what we're seeing after our year of studying Saltro, CruiserMax Apex, and Marvis Neo on our products. Happy to report they're all doing the way that they should. And from what I'm seeing, fungicide in your corn every single year is starting to become a no-brainer as well. But that's what I can report. Let me know what you guys can see. Links to the products that we used will be down in the description. Thanks for Syngenta for partnering with us this year. And let's get back to work. Get back up a little. Yep, got it.
So I'm back to my normal position, as most of you probably know from Molly's pumpkin patch shenanigans. Ben's terrified of heights. So, or at least he just cons me into getting on top of these because he doesn't apparently know how to get up here from there. So, we're up here. We've got a completely cobbled up mess with wire everywhere. So we're gonna figure this out, and hopefully the lid doesn't like fall down and take out a little fluffy dog, or Molly will probably end up owning everything I've got. Okay, we're free. Looks like the birds have made home right here, so that's nice. Back on. That's a lot of junk right there. And just like that, you get hit in the side of the head with an auger. Not bad if you ask me. So. All right, good? Yeah. Is it good? Well, there you have it. Back down the bin we go.
So we had a bit of an issue, and something that's not going to make sense in this video for you guys is that I say what you guys just saw us put together. I had a GoPro, and we've lost a GoPro, and which means I lost a couple of clips in here, so I'll have to hop in with you guys and chat about them on and off. But what Colt and I ended up doing, and we talked about it here, was later on in that day where you guys are at now at this point in the video, was that my fuel system on my tool skid, which you guys will get to see here in a second as well with a little tour, was that basically the hose was going bad on the fuel truck, or on the tank, and it was only like a 12-foot hose, so you couldn't get that close to it. So I got on the internet and I bought a hose reel here. I believe this has 40 feet of hose reel on there. We ended up tucking it in and welding it on. So this is my new fuel system now, or delivery to trucks and stuff. You'll see it works really darn good. So now this part of the tool skid, and you guys will get the little tour quickly in the next couple of clips, now has a smaller generator on it because the old one went out, and then a hose reel. The air compressor is still on there. They're just kind of tucked in next to each other. But that's what I'm talking about, doing that deal. Except for the GoPro is in GoPro heaven somewhere. Hopefully it'll show up as soon as I release this video. I'll find it, you'll see. Hey, we're back Monday after a successful weekend at the pumpkin patch. Gotta fuel up 3020 here to auger some beans because we got a combine on the way. Might as well test out the new rig, right? Doing okay. We're pumping diesel. So after a slight distraction, we'll tour these guys' leaning post real quick. So the tool skid, for people that haven't seen it before, this is what we just added. The hose reel works. Now we got 40 feet of that. Airline reel, air compressor, generator, 100 gallons of fuel, The white thing is a shovel holder and a chain holder. And then the Montezuma toolbox, which has got like 30% of its tools that are supposed to be in there now.
One screwdriver.
And one screwdriver. Not even a screwdriver. I don't even see. Oh yeah, there is still a screwdriver there. That's the tool skid. You drop this one out, this cleat right here. There's one on the other side. Put your pallet forks in there. Whole thing comes off for the people that have never seen that. We've ended up with our first frost of the year, actually. It doesn't appear to be a real hard frost, but it's going to take a minute for it to burn off this morning so we can go back to cutting some soybeans. That's okay. We've got a truck or two to unload. But first, we're going to see if this 3020 will start for us and get warmed up as I bring the truck over to it. Start. Nope. Maybe with a little bit of battery power, battery assistance. A little snorkel juice. We'll let that do its gig and go get a semi. It might just give it enough to kick over. 'Kinda neat looking. Let's see if we've given it enough time here. Minutes. Just 100% forgot what side the remote was on. That's how you do a cinematic experience, Colt. It's called B-roll. You just film an auger doing auger stuff.
I'm glad it's working out for you.
So the other thing we've got to do this morning is that we've got to jerry rig, basically the auger's leaking. So we've got to try and figure out a way to get it to not leak.
Today's episode of What Can We Engineer Back Together, we have got this right here that is leaking a massive amount of beans while we're unloading. So stay tuned, you might learn something, but probably not. As you can see, there was kind of a foam rubber deal, kind of a gasket type thing holding that in there, and
What's up?
it's no longer with us.
Gasket out of towel tape. The handiest thing in the world.
Wonder if you could cut a sliver of foam
Well, I got that,
to
but
put inside of your tape to make sure that it
Give me a
definitely.
GoPro battery foam container coming in handy.
Try and like build your own gasket type of deal.
This is a DIY video.
That you'll only be there until we get it right.
As my mom would say, this is very Pinteresting.
Interesting.
This is Pinteresting. Be like we're fixing to be like the Jeff Busby of John Deere combines instead of airplanes. Except for he actually had to use his head to figure out what he did with his life. We're just gonna tape some foam to it. Honestly, would not be surprised if we don't fix it again next year. But until then, I'd say it's a...
I guarantee it until it breaks.
Yeah, I could also use that.
Yeah, be careful, don't pop the studs.
That looks way more promising.
Look better?
Yeah, it feels good too.
So as we get going this morning, finally got a little bit of dust rolling there. Had to chew through some tough beans, the frost, and getting it burned off. Oh, I'm a little worried about what just happened. Well, I guess we need to figure out what happened here real quick. That looks okay. My feed accelerator alarm went off, the same one that we had to mess with on the 9660 in the last video. This is the 9670, different combine. That chain's too loose. But there's my feed accelerator. That belt appears to be intact and okay. Something's broke somewhere. I don't see any broken belts or anything yet. I don't see anything, do you?
The chain's a little floppy.
It's like call Ben the almost got it done guy.
It almost made it 24 hours. The wisdom today?
Words of wisdom.
Buy cows.
Yeah, don't do this. This is a horrible idea.
Or maybe trade combines. 2 for 1?
Be too easy. I'm just gonna keep calling Ben the almost got it done guy, because anytime we're almost done somewhere, he tears something up. So,
True facts.
very fitting.
I mean, do you see many beans left out here? Now, granted, there's like 30 acres over there, but nobody else can see that.
Yeah, but that's almost done compared to what we started with.
Yeah. It sounded horrible after it went backwards, then it must have caught on something.
Oh, there's a bunch of like bean dust and things like that in that slide.
At this point, so I think if you, oh yeah, look at that.
For a minute, I really thought he was gonna do it. I thought he was gonna get to punt a rabbit. You know how the other day Ben was talking about the right tool for the right job or whatever?
Yeah, pause. Okay, so on the go, the GoPro that got lost, it's a pumpkin patch day, so Alex and I are picking pumpkins. Well, we're not picking them right now, lull of the day. But we talk about in the video is that there's 2 types of people. There's a person that goes and finds the right tool for the job. Like if you need a wrench, you go get the right wrench or whatever you need to get the job done. I'm that type of person. I want the right tool. Colt will just grab whatever he decides. He's uses a crescent wrench or a metric standard for whatever he can use, or a pipe wrench. Yin and yang thing. That's what we were talking about. And just wait. Having the right tool for the job gets it done.
It's like you spend more time looking for tools that you think you need that you don't actually need, because you can just use a little tiny screwdriver here on this Leatherman, and you don't have to walk around looking for the right tool all day. It's amazing. Don't have a built-in hammer though. But I bet we get close.
Has it moved?
No. Do you have the... No, you don't have the right tools.
I don't.
Can you believe that?
What kind of a challenge would that be if we had the right tools? Yeah.
So again, GoPro issues with this clip here, didn't finish this one out. Was that what I didn't talk about was what was actually wrong with this combine was the feeder house chain had stretched itself out over the years of use there, and basically just had to take a link out of it because it was completely out of adjustment. Probably time for a new chain on the feeder house, but it's done a few hundred acres since then and it's still clipping along, but didn't explain to you guys what was wrong with that, and that was it. Obviously jumping in to kind of wrap that little snippet up for you.
Have you considered that we have the ABCs here today? Andrew, Ben, and Colt.
And actually it kind of would work ABCs like with an S on there, like ABCs, because then you got Scott.
Yeah.
So we are going to flip the corn because we got not much rain, maybe like 1500s. The breeze is out, so hopefully the silks are drying up. Throwing some diesel fuel in the combine here, about flipped over. The head's right there. There's one semi, two semis, and a grain cart. So we'll see if we can't dive into a little bit of corn. Augers up on a different bin, and probably shell corn for today. And is there a chance of rain tonight?
Yes.
Yeah, chance of rain tonight. So we might be on corn here for a few days. So we're probably off beans until the start of next week, but that's okay. We're on corn then. Should be about out of fuel. Let's get the combine and corn. So this year's going to be interesting to see. We're actually in our first field. I don't know if this is the second field that I planted, but it was planted on the first day, if that makes sense. And it's going to be interesting to see if our later planted corn is better than our earlier planted corn. I would guess that probably 90% of the time, your earlier planted corn is always going to do better. This year, pollination for the later planted corn, I think might have been a little bit better. This is the first planted field, and it'll be interesting because the last planted field is kitty corner across the street. Something to look at moving forward into the year. Corn is dry. Probably I'll get out and test some of it here shortly. Pretty good. Well guys, that was a pretty good day there yesterday for half a day. Got some corn pulled out into the bin. Got a truck here to unload. Well, we're hoping to take off, finish that field. Got probably 30 acres left in there to do. And then, I don't know if we'll switch over to corn or soybeans, but that's something that you guys are gonna figure out along with me. because we're going to be calling this episode done. So thank you for hanging out with us, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Oh, sausage casserole for breakfast.
Adios.
Don't mind my great lighting as a cameraman here, but I gotta say, we've taken out a lot of corn today, and I'm not a weatherman by any means, but it smells like rain, and the lightning show is getting very much out of hand. So with any luck, it rains everywhere but this field so we can get finished up. It's crazy what you get here in the southern IA. Might be 100 tomorrow, might be snowing the next day. One thing's for sure, it's gonna rain today.